Welcome back, everybody. Hello here for people who haven't seen the video. We're going to be having a talk about healing the inner child, and we're going to be talking about financially codependency. Hi, CJ. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone who's watching it. If you have a questions, write them in the chat. All right. Share some of the love. All right. You need to understand when you're sharing the love here in the room, it is about the love. It's available to energy to everybody. Man, I talked too much about during the Saturn retrograde video. So a little bit the throat chakra needs some cleaning. But what is the inner child, though? The inner child is developed very early in a stage. The first development of the inner child that it begins with when it's during the process of development within the mother. There is a development of wherever the mother feels from within and her emotions and transferring to the baby. And during this kind of like communication talks, because of development of the baby, the first things within the baby are developed there. That's why it's critical and it's important. What is your baggage during pregnancy? But also, what is your baggage from the bloodline? You might not going to realize it the first or second time you're pregnant until you don't realize things. You don't have hi Brenta, hi CJ. Thank you guys for showing up in the chat. And this connection, if you look at it on a spiritual level, it's very powerful because that's what the beginning of the development of the inner child is not the development of the first or second or third year begins there. So that is when the two DNAs from the both parents and the grandparents' sides kind of like coming together. If you haven't done the study for this, when the DNA, it's kind of like coming together into the baby. It's got this split parts that coming off, but there's also the new union within the DNA of the baby. It's kind of like the baby choosing what needs to be have as a DNA, sort of. This is kind of like when the egg attracts only one spermatozoid. If that is a twins, during this process is actually a little bit more complicated. They've done some studies from within. They have similar genetic material, very, very similar. If that is a identical twins, but if that's not an identical twins, the situations there it's quite a bit different when you look from when. The DNA development there with non-identical twins, it's quite a bit different. The one, it's going to be more, physically appearance is going to be more skinny. The other one will be a little bit more chubby. That's what that is. The one is going to be having different abilities than the other. Sometimes this leads to complications as far as the studies that have been done. The reason is because when during the development, there is like a three minds from within. It's the two different babies and kind of like the thought process with the mother when it comes in together. When development of the inner child begins of what is the environment during the first 1 till 7 years of development of the child. If you have good environment from within you, good vibrations, you got to be very careful with the vibrations because the vibes are the one that the child picks the most. Um, Hi, Josh. This is going to deep. This one, yeah. This is going to be deep. Hi, Christine. The reason I know all this is because I had to study all this on me and about situations that were from within me and around my life and clients as well and the people, So I look at this and the inner child wounds, they're big. I had the very first stage when I was awakened as a twin flame. Somebody told me, Dio, you have to look from within and heal your inner child. The way I did, I have a picture of me when I was 3 years old. And that picture, by the way, I look at it. I mean, this cutie pie in there. Um, and I looked, and I was like, dude, you were raised by your grandparents. You did this. You had a great childhood. You got a great friends. You developed a lot of skills. Now, when I look at the vibrations that I got from my grandmother. She was always nice to me. She gave me the nurturing with the vibrations. She gave me the position, and I was always helpful to my grandfather. I developed those skills there. And this is the people I own so much about not having so much damages from within into the inner child. Basically, they help me out a lot from within. But look at you in your inner child, okay? There is something else within the inner child, is your spiritual inner child. That leads you into the way your spiritual inner child comes in from within. Let me turn on the camera towards me, so this is going to be more better for me. Planning to make some little adjustments here, but we'll see. Maybe in a month or two, depends of things how it comes up. But the spiritual inner child, that is a, when you read comics, what are you more attracted to it? Where is your spirit leads you to? If you're a girl, if you're a female, what was the princesses did you like? The princess stories. But if you're a girl and you like more boys' stories, you probably figure it out. You have a lot of masculine energy from within. If you're a girl and you like to play more with the boys, okay, the girls didn't attract you. Somehow you like the vibrations with the boys. And if you are really, having a very masculine power, that could have been, okay, your masculine energy that you kind of like go out in the street and beat the crap out of the boys and they were all under your rule. Captain, right? You are the captain of the everything. Uh, I am not getting notifications. Jenny, look at the channel notifications and click all, and that will help you. Uh, so, during the development of the inner child situations, you begin to understand basic relationships. So, for example, codependency begin there because as a child you codepend your mother the first year or so. On the second year, you begin to walk. All right, it's important to teach the kids the word no, but not like respond all the time to their kind of like their needs. Okay, if the baby is hungry, give him like 3, 4 minutes, let him cry, but give him a 2, 3 minutes. That way, they're not gonna develop the instant response from you, because the instant response from you will lead to the instant response down as an adult. Uh, when it goes around, when it's 2 year old, okay, and go and search and things like this, go and get your kid to introduce them to the things into the material world. I remember my daughters, I taken them and I open up the kitchen cabinet. I open the kitchen cabinet and I show them each spices to look at them, to touch them. They're interesting. Can they look? Okay. I show them, all the dishes, so all the other things. I open up the spoons, the forks, and they look with interest because they're learning there. With both of them, I was like this. I mean, they had no problems with it until one morning I didn't woke up and find out my daughter, she spilled all the sugar, all the flour on the floor. And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll clean that up. All right. But they're learning this process from within. Okay. They're learning this good vibes, these good first relationships within the material world. It is about to teach them how to work with others, like sharing your toys, sharing things. For example, go give it a hug, go give it a kiss. Okay, you learn them in a compassion as a kid. For example, if you have a boy or you have a girl, it's like that two kids playing in the sand, and it's like teaching them, why just not grab his hand and let's go for a walk. And you see the kids, they grab their hands and they go out for a walk or playing in the sand for a little bit. Those are the things you get in it. But if you haven't developed this in your inner child beginning in your ears, for whatever reason, I mean, this could be a lack of things. This could be you probably were raised in a different environment for, or there was issues why they were raising you. However, you come up, you can learn all this basic behaviors now as an adult. It will take you 21 days to develop a habit, but the habit turns to this. The question is are you going to transform from within? The healing of your inner child is when you see yourself as 3 year picture. Is like, you know what, you didn't learn this and this, and go look from within. That inner child still from within. Go find them. It's probably in a dark place. From within you, you kind of like push it down through pain of ages and ages and ages of crap that it was. And you go back, you find it there. It's like, listen, I'm a grown up person now. I understand your pain as a child, but guess what? You and I, we're going to be united together. You're not going to sit in this dark place now. And you and I, we are going to go and fix everything. I love you and I'll be here for you. You go back and create like a time travel, go back into your childhood and your child kids thanks for it. So for example, you can remember events from your childhood. Okay, when somebody loves you, somebody gives you a hug, somebody you play with it. Probably had that boy or girl that you were very much played together in the street. If you were raised in the street, of course, if you were raised like in a closed environment, your parents always watching around you, you will lack these abilities. There was even back when I was in the United States, I had a client that comes in as like, we have an issue that our child doesn't communicate with kids on his age. I'm like, hmm, interesting. Why is that? So here is, she was stay-home mom, and she raised him home and not allowed him to have this daycare experience. And I went in, I pull up some psychology evaluations back then, and I told her, here is, there you go. You should have let him in. So she began to put him in the to a program to play with kids, like 4 hours a day at the beginning. The first day, she was required to be there, like sitting for like an hour or two until he gets adapted to it, to introduce him to the environment. And after that, he begins to be a little better. But the issue was there. The daddy issue is going to come up as an adult. Who knows? I haven't catch up with her maybe 80 years or so. But talking about these issues and a healing of your inner child, your relationship right now triggers your inner child wounds of what you've been through, what the situations have been through it. Um, uh, and Hi, Diana. My grandparents beat the crap out of my mother while I was in her. Then I was born, and they love and adore me than anything, take care of me for years. I feel like they are healing guilt. Yeah, Josh, man, that energy hits me now. Maybe I should have not reading your question. Uh, Hey, that guilt in the soul, it's not good. Okay, if somebody beat a woman when she's pregnant, that's not good. Uh, yeah. Anyway, let me distract this energy a little bit. Whew, that's heavy, man. Healing your inner child deep from within. Now you go ahead and do the things that you wanted to do as a spiritual inner child. For example, you wanted to have a beautiful dress, or you want to have it a this costume, or you wanted to have a toy. Okay, for example, if you are a boy, you wanted to have a fire truck. Realize that fire truck. Picture the fire truck that you wanted. Go online, save some of the money, and seek exact that model of that fire truck exists somewhere, someplace. And when you see it, find it, order it for you. And then, even if you're an adult, go play with it. You will heal something from within. It's going to make you happy. When that makes you that happiness, the happiness is going to be also happiness within your current relationship in your life as well. That's how you will know that you heal your inner child. Okay. Um, yeah, I feel it. Forgive and let go, Josh. The adult, you need to embrace the kid, need to back then. Yes, Diana. Forgive. Actually, it's a lot of power to do this. Lately, about that forgiveness and karma, I was looking into Saturn notes, and if there is a cause in there, you want to forgive. Uh, you want to forgive, okay? but the effects are present. Can't fix the effects. Effects are already done. The only thing is to resolve the karma. Mean you have to put a work. And if you're in connection with someone, you can fix that. But what you can fix is from within you, looking at deep into the issues. Okay. Maybe the karma is going to be solved in the next 6 months. Maybe the karma is going to be solved this lifetime. Maybe the karma is going to be solved the next lifetime. But don't beat yourself up over that karma too much. If you need to fix it, there is going to be an opportunity that presents itself. Okay. This is one of the things that we talk about. Saturn karma is about this. There's going to be an opportunities for you. It's coming up. Okay. So your spiritual inner child is wanting things, and it tells you in your inner child, I want this fire truck so darn much. I mean, there is something I wanted to do, and it's missing. Now, every time you tell someone, I want something so much, it's going to be missing because you link to this inner child. You linked it to that miss. Okay. If you were missing a doll or something, you were missing the things now. You want to possess this and this things now. Go and find what you are missing in your childhood and get in it now. You are going to plug that hole from within. Okay. So in my childhood, okay, I was missing a one big giant bear. Well, guess what? I went out, I bought the giant bears. I missed the giant toys. I got them. I had one big gorilla back in our basement. It was that big, but I fixed it. And my youngest daughter wanted the big bear. Well, the big bear was like maybe 6 foot tall, and she's a 3.5 foot tall. She could sleep with that bear. I mean, hug that bear, you can sleep with it. Okay. It takes like the half of the bed. That's how big that bear was. Okay. Uh, as far as the emotions, though, you missing an emotions as a child. Maybe you weren't hugged properly. Maybe you weren't loved properly. Maybe the environment that you were was very strict, and because of this strict environment, you lack the abilities of letting yourself go. Now you have to look yourself. If you're so strict as person, you're always under tensions. You're always under pressure. You always have to fight for something. Stop fighting. Begin to feel love from within. Looking within your inner child and heal the things from within with love. Love can fix everything. If it's not enough love, put in more love to it. That's how you're going to plug those holes that you have from within in your inner child. Now you're going to plug the holes in your life and your family life and your family line. So healing the inner child helps a lot. It's one of the crucial and the main things you need to do ever within your life. Okay. You don't fix that situations. Guess what? Your mother or your parents hasn't fixed the situations. You haven't fixed the situation. And now you have a child that you need to fix the situations. You've seen it. And you're asking yourself why. Well, that's what this is. Okay. Um, if you guys have so many questions about the inner child, let me see and take a look from within. Josh, but just please heal this from within you, because you, when your mother experiencing this, she kind of like a passing that pain from within you. I have no idea what causing it your grandparents to behave like this, why it was, but it should have been properly. Maybe your mother had a hormone problem, saying causing a scandals or something. I don't know. It's whatever it is. Find a reason to heal. Okay, even though the reason is you. Um, I have no childhood work. I work garden for 9 years. That has been lesson since for a while. A lot of people have abused me, and I have been somewhat abused towards others. In my life, I see people who abuse just another victim of abuse. This chat made me see my grandparents killed, like it came, and when I heard inner child healing. Josh is just passing the pain of one generation to another generation to another generation. Uh, I want you to step back and look at the whole situation as a third party. It's like you're not even in that picture. Take a look in yourself, the pain that you caused to people, the pain that people caused you. Did it really worth it? Because the pain was passed from your mother to you. Did these people that you hurt, they had anything to do that your mother hurting you, passing the pain? Then take a look at it, the pain of your mother uh, didn't heal the pain from their grandparents. What does your mother fault is that the grandparents did what they did? And you will heal the pain from within. Josh, I hope you get this point. It's crucial for you. Uh, your mother don't know what she was doing, and the abuse was passed from grandparents to your mother to you. Don't hurt people. Love people. That can help you. Go maybe do some kind of social service. Maybe go help people into poor neighborhood, donate food, or go to a church and serve there to the people when they have lunch or free lunch for homeless people, or something related to that issue is going to help you tremendously to heal. The jaw pain. I recently went to reminder of all my times that smacked me across the face. Decade later. Yeah, I was smacked quite a few times from my grandfather, but I won't forget his face when he smacked me so bad I was bleeding. And my grandmother told me what happened, and I told her that uh, I spoke to my grandpa, and he didn't believe me that I was in a special training to one organization here for radio having, and I was late from school. He didn't believe me. He just beat the crap out of me, and she felt me that was telling the truth, and I was depressed. She looked at me. She gave me a hug. She cleaned me up and all that stuff. And my grandpa come back home. He looking at my grandmother. She gave him one look of a guilt, and she looked at me, and she's like, just shake her head, and she didn't say nothing. I didn't spoke to my grandfather for a couple of days. Just look at him a little bit with this energy of like he didn't did the right thing, and that it stills in me for it. I didn't forgive him, and now I don't forgive people if they don't change their actions towards to it. And this is issue that I'm working right now on healing inner child. Okay, I kind of like don't like abuse, don't like things that people manipulate or abusing, or specifically when doesn't have a manners and things. I'm a Libra. To me, the manners matter within the family. Okay, so I can relate it to you to this. I can totally relate it. But you need to understand that maybe the anger in them was not caused by you. They just looked for to dump their anger in you. Even if that is your, twin flame right now, they're dumping their anger on you. They have problem issues with the inner child. Okay, when they comes in and they smack you or they like whatever that is, they dump their anger on you. They don't know why they're doing it. They're doing it because there was some kind of event that triggered this, some portion of situations that hasn't been healed from within. So CJ, I started my healing journey in my early 30s. Will be 60 next month. It has been challenging time, but really great at once. And I'm a family feeling and weight of the world lifting. Good job, CJ. Dio, do you think the twin flame frequency videos on YouTube effective? Uh, Frequency, if you need to listen them, you're going to be guiding towards listen to them. I rarely listen to frequency videos with specific frequency. I just put the universe in charge and decide what I need to. It's kind of like come to me what I need to hear or what I need to do or what the things are. So my father too, when he was angry, then he loved me more than my mother. My mother don't want me from pregnancy. It could be a lot of issues, guys, taking triggers. What I'm giving you with this is go dive from within. Go dive from within, find your inner child and heal your inner child. You heal your inner child. You heal the bloodline after you, if you have a kids. If you don't have a kids yet, you're going to be okay because that process is going to be changed. Then you're going to heal you, but you're also going to go to your parents. Is like, listen, you guys have issues and problems. I don't care what it is. You haven't fixed it, and go ahead and fix it in yourself. You kind of like bolt out of the family, okay? And I said bolt out. You don't engage with them. You can communicate with them and tell them the things, but you don't really. That energy cords with them, it's cut. You help them for you. So don't engage anymore with that pain damage. That's the core that it is. The core related of the damage. Once you heal in your inner child, you will cut that pain cord from within you, the link that leads you to this event. Today I met my twin on a bus. He does away, but Might say I love you. Okay. So that is about the inner child, and now we're gonna transferring kind of like moved and dived in about the financial codependency. By the way, the financial codependency began as a child. What is your perceptions about money early as a childhood? Early as a child, okay. Mm, so early as a child, maybe they give you money to go buy some candy or buy some sunflower seeds or whatever, gums or something to drink or something, and you were happy. Okay, but over the time you kind of like want more money to buy certain things, to get other stuff. You probably end up going to school, and at school, the kids buying this and this, and you got not enough money. Now you're looking at what's going on, what the situations are. I had a rough childhood about this money problems. Sometimes I had to go and sneaking into my grandma's wallet and tap into little bit by little. And later on, I find out that she was putting it there on purpose because she was not allowed to give me more than was my allowance today. But she knew I needed more, so she was putting it there on purpose so I can tap it in. Anyway, it's a little funny story about this. But um, this understandings about money begins in childhood. So if you have a codependency of money, you probably didn't learn in your childhood that whoever goes to work, he goes to work there to make money, and you have to learn to appreciate the money. Maybe you weren't appreciate money. Maybe you were never given enough money. You were always wanted something more money, or you were maybe when you wanted something so bad, you weren't getting it. You were creating tantrums and a problem and issues and so on because of maybe spoiled in a way. So, for example, if you were raised by grandparents and they spoiled you, now you go live with with your parents and they don't spoil you. Now you're creating problems, you're creating issues, and they're like your parent is like, what's going on with this child? They don't know you. I know, like 2, 3 years old. I'm telling you this from my perspective because my childs that were raised by grandparents, they come back. They had I don't know, different behaviors. Now I realizing more things, but it's too late for some things. So you learn this financial things at school also when you go buy school lunches or go buy of things. Sometimes at school it's like, hey, you want this or you want that. You see they have like latest watches, or people begin to like, hey, look, I have a Rolex, or so on and so on. As my child that comes in, it's like they come from school, it's like, that, I mean, why did you put us on this so expensive town? I mean, the school is good, but they're all kind of like, oh, look at my Rolex, look at my diamonds, look at this, look at that. They're all, are like, it's a good school. Come on. It's just, you have to mix it up with what you have and what you are for. But you develop this understanding about finances from your parents. So if your parents had a rough time with finances, they didn't know how to deal with finances, so you will not know how to deal with finances. Looking at into the finances and removing the codependency on the finances. Okay, codependency is developed when you depend of your parents. Maybe, I mean, I had a lot of issues because I was 15 when I started to officially work. And I remember I got my first salary, and my mom took everything away from me and she didn't give me any money. And ever since then, I developed times that when I give you the money, then you gotta be held accountable for it, which is very good thing, by the way. You have to understand that within the family finances, accountability is a trust that leads to the basic need of the family is the foundations of the material world. Okay, if that crumbles, everything else crumbles down. Doesn't matter. But in the next salary, I didn't give her anything. Like I'll keep the money for me. I mean, I need to buy some new clothes. I need to buy new things. I need to buy that. My mother has a lot of some issues with relationships. Oh, I don't care. You don't give me the money. Go live with your father. So I went on to live with my father. Okay. I was beginning to smoke there. And my father was looking at me that I was hiding in, smoking secretly. And he's like, you know what? Here's a cigarette. Here's your lighter. You're allowed to smoke in the house. He was democratic to this. He passed away, by the way, but he helped me to understand. But again, I was there. There was no lack of the money. And understanding of the money began later on when I pull out from totally from my family and I begin to care for my own self. There, I learned how to budget money, how to manage money, how to do this. That helped me later on within my marriage to do. But however, I give everything to the family, but I did one huge mistake: lack of accountability. Very huge mistake. And I didn't have a support from the partner. Didn't have that much support. Lack of the financial support led me to codependency problems because I was going and having two jobs to support the whole family. And guess what? Over the time, you've been used, you're abused. You find yourself abused and you say, enough is enough. Because there is no love there. It was all about the money. And later on, this thing shows up even into my soul connections and my problems and so on. But if you take a look at it, uh, that codependency within the finances is crucial. To solve the codependency, it doesn't matter if, for example, the one person makes $5,000 and the other makes three. That makes eight. Okay, but it has to be equal give and take and give and make. All right, two people they pouring together they create the effect, but if the one person put in the other one takes it creates another class, and then there is a more problems comes in from within. uh, so people who develop themselves into a wealth family, they begin to know because they understood what the wealth is. Okay, the wealth is it's something of how to budget and how to value the money. Okay, for example, the wealthy families they know the 10% of giving. They understand the 10% of saving. Okay, before you spend the money, they understand the proper way of budgeting. All right, and then they understand in the base of the savings, they can afford more things that the other families can't. They have a different mentality of working with money. They understand the energy of the money. While the other people is like, you know what, I'm making $1,000 a month, but I will go ahead and get a credit for getting a $1,500, the latest iPhone, so I can just show off that I'm rich. You're not rich. You don't, because now that watch is gonna cost you 2,500. That phone is gonna cost you $2,500 with the interest. Okay. And the wealthy families, they understand this. They have emergency saving account for things. They don't buy with credit cards. They don't use credit cards. They understand the money. They invest money. They understand how the investments are working. They understand all this. They know how to invest into real estate property. They understand what to invest within. They don't buy cheap stuff because they know the cheap it's cost more expensive down the road. That's what the wealthy part is different. So if you are raised within a wealthy family, you will understand all this. It's a very good things, and I was not spoiled, but mine developed because my dad always took care of all my mother's needs, wants, demands. Yeah, a lot of the old program is the man has to take care of all the needs and all that stuff of the females, but sometimes that leads to toxic environment because it creates expectations that the male has to continue support. And sometimes you may find out that when the man needs support, there is no support from the feminine because they look for somebody else to take care of them. Because the comfort zone that was created by the male, it's there. And it's powerful for you to be learn how to be dependent, self-independent within yourself, with your ability of making, saving money. Okay, your financial independence. It's also don't live beyond our means. So, for example, I spoke with someone today, and they told me I need $3,500 a month to operate, but my salary it's only 2,000. What can I do, dear? Because I'm always in the red. I never get in the money, and I have a child and a problem. And I talk with this advice. I talk with this thing. First of all, take a look how to minimize your expenses. Okay, if you have to move to another town where the rent is, or if there is a place where you can be basically rent free, okay, then take a look of how to shop at more different places where you don't have to do all those expenses, and then look for a job that pays 3,500 and find that job. What does it cost? What's going to take you to get to that level to reach that job? You may have to go for study and things, do something about it. And I'm telling you this of my personal experience. I'm not telling you of anything that I have not done. My first job in the United States, that was cleaning O'Hare. That was the airport. And but I always wanted to make more money. So I know I was very good with electricity. I always was wanted to be a mechanic or maintenance supervisor. So I went to college. I studied. I began from one company to another company to another company. But over the 20 years, I become pro of what I was doing. Now my LinkedIn, it's kind of like full of people who wants me to go work for them. I won't tell you some of the salaries they're offering to me. You guys are gonna go nuts. Okay. But I went out, I did the study, I got the money, and I was able to provide for my family. Later on, when I figured out the things within the family were so bad and the twin flame journey comes in, I was able to do things out of ordinary. First of all, I find a place where I can live in a good neighborhood for lower price. I lower and manage my expenses. I was with the two kids and I was supporting my ex-wife. She didn't work for about 3 years with $1,000 a month so she can have money. And my own. Later on, the judge said, this money I can't, you know, either though that she said after the 3 years, it's going to be different story. Anyway, you forgive about things. Over time, you forgive. You learn how to forgive. That was the first time I learned how to forgive things about it. But I learned a lesson and I learned the energies of this. But I was able to manage my money. And also, I was able through this money not to ask for money for people that I did charge or the hours I spent helping the twin flames. Now you become an energy efficient and you become an independent. I was able to give money. Okay. So, hi, Carl. Um, your financial codependency in twin flames, it's important because if you are depending on your twin flame, what's going to happen if your twin flame all of a sudden it's gone? What's going to happen if you as a twin flame you put money and nobody else is making money, and then you feel like something goes on with the money and you ask for accountabilities, you don't get the accountabilities. Guess what? It will trigger you. It will trigger you. As soon as you begin to ask what happened to the money, and they're like, well, we just spend them. Just, oh, I need a report on what did we spend them. And then it begin the problems of unhealed understanding about money. So the way you want to do with money is go ahead and educate yourself on how to create a family budget. Family budget and how to operate within the family budget, where the two people put in together into the family budget and they know what's going on with the family budget. So, for example, you're catching up the family budget that it needs 3,500. The one makes 5, the other one makes 2, and that makes 7, right? So the both fill up this family budget, and then they will put some money out of the way for saving, or maybe for putting for money for a college for the kids, or buying their dream cars, making their dream life, and looking at together what to do. And that's what the twin flame template comes in to teach all this. But if you haven't learned those financial independence from it, guess what? You are codependent on your twin. And this is why I'll ask some of the people, why do you want your twin flame for you? And the worst answer was, so he can help me, he can support me in my life. You need your twin flame to create, not to be codependent financially. To create. Remember that. You're here to create the new world. Some of the males is like, what do you need your twin flame? Well, I need her to be with me, to hug her, to kiss her, and to live with her, and she can help me, support me. Good. She can help you, support you, have a job. No. Then how are you going to be with your twin flame? Ain't not going to happen. Some people like this, there for a year, 2, 3, are kind of like disengaged with these energies because they're not proper. You need to understand the way you gotta have a balance is step with your legs in the ground, with your heads in the clouds, and your heart's gotta be full of love. That's it. That's what this is. All right. So let's go to some of the questions. Maya and I talk a lot. I grew up fairly wealthy. I was not spoiled, but more needs and wants. While I have developed a distate for needy woman as a result. I also personally seem to expect my husband to take care of me, working on to fix it. Good job. Brent, a good job of catching that red flag in you and fixing it, working on to fix it. You want me to tell you that there is nothing more better to be happy of the money that you make on your own. Beautiful thing. Because you see the return of your job that you have. If you're not happy getting the money, you're never gonna be happy. But doesn't matter how much money you're gonna make. If you're not happy with the $5 an hour, you're not gonna be happy with $60 an hour job. Let me tell you this. Okay? Money doesn't bring happiness, but money helps you to support your survival. Yeah, there is a lot of conflicts about money because you think there is a money, but there is no money. All of a sudden, the money are spent on shoes or other things, and at the end of the day, you're like, I have this shirt since 1999, and you're like, yeah. So that is a things that you need to look, and especially when you get into in a relationship with the money, you can give the support. You can be the parent. You can be the man to support. Okay. But if you need the support back, your partner have to support you. Because if you lose your job or you lose your way of income and your partner not right next to you, then the problem is huge. You turn into a nightmare. Okay. Well, I think that the tears are becoming, yeah, exactly, becoming androgynous. Yes, we'll work on this. A lot of the twin flames, they're working on this to be a financial independent. There is a one couple here in Bulgaria. I know them. She's selling 1 meter chocolate, and he has a restaurant. So they're both kind of like financially okay, but they both does something for the community. They both put out spiritual writings. They both do their work. That right there. They created something with their wealth. They did something. They created something. They supporting poor families. They donate food. Here we go. But how many of the couples of the twin flames that can solve their problems that come together to do this? Not many. Well, I think the TF are becoming both masculine roles, feminine. Of course, I mean, you gotta be a masculine and feminine at the same time. I mean, I wash the dishes, I cook, I can do a vacuum, okay, for, and that doesn't bother me, okay, that doesn't bother me. But if I go and work on the car, I need someone to give me the wrenches or give me the bulbs or something, or masculine energy does help. You know what I mean? So, or changing tires or work on the car and so on. So, all right, guys. I have a one cigarette, and if there is some any questions, guys, let me know. And let's go ahead and decide what we are going to talk about tomorrow. Brent, I hope you're happy with what happened with this. And Was that question about inner child was by Skywalker that I don't see today? I think it was from Skywalker, right? The inner healing inner child. Uh, I worked 10 years of financial company, and there I see a lot of families because I have to go and do family budgeting with them, and that opened a lot of eyes for me that the money is important, but what I found out that the more the family understands that there is more money, the more problems they get. And, uh, become a financially independent is to understand that you have enough money so you can have your quality of lifestyle. But don't put your quality of lifestyle compared to someone who makes 300,000 and you make 50,000. You can't have that quality of lifestyle. Okay, you can strive for it. You can see what $300,000 person do for work. You can go ahead and study. You roll off your sleeves and you go get the same job that he makes to make that money, to have that quality of life. But if you're expecting someone to comes in and brings you $300,000 and you're just sitting in your rear end, ain't gonna happen. Especially in a twin flames, that doesn't work very well at all. All right. So, any ideas about tomorrow's chat? Are you guys thinking? CJ, I have seen now the pattern of my mom and stepdad has played out in my life. Good qualities and immature qualities, part of the karma has been released. Great job, CJ. Okay, any questions that I missed or anything? All right, well, I guess for tomorrow I will think about what we are going to talk about. And guys, thank you so much for being here and watching the video. Uh, look it from within, the inner child. Love it. Love your inner child. Find out pictures of you. Find and understand how beautiful you are as the inner child, how innocent. Okay. And you were created in the universe as a child. You live in the universe. Love the universe from within. Be the love from within, guys. Okay. Thanks so much, guys. Be love.